Welcome back, dear students. Today we discussed proteins. First of all, the word protein is derived from a Greek word proteos, which means of prime importance. Prime importance means the basic important component present in the living organisms. These are highly complex nitrogenous substances that are made up of amino acids present in all the living organisms. Nitrogenous means they contain a higher content of nitrogen. Its composition is that carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen are present sometime along with these four. Sulfur may also be present in the proteins. Basically, these are present in the amino acids, and amino acid combine together to form the protein. Proteins are the major component of cell, and these are essential for growth and maintenance of life. 50 to 55% of the dry weight of the cell is made up of protein. Dry weight means we are not considering the liquidy portion of the cell content. We are just talking about the dry mass, and this dry mass is 50 to 55% of the proteins. Examples of protein are keratin, which is present in the bone and cartilage, etc. It is also present in the cornea of your eyes. Albumin is called the egg protein. Legumin is the protein which is present in the leguminous plants like the pea and the peanuts. जिसकी फली होती हैं उसको leguminous plants बोलते हैं. Collagen is a muscular protein present in the skeleton system. You may have discussed this in biology. So proteins are the biopolymers of amino acids. Biopolymers, bio means life, polymers means the compounds, the macromolecules which are formed by the repeating units, which are called the monomers. Over here the repeating units are the amino acids. So we say that the protein is a biopolymer of amino acid, or the amino acids are the monomers of protein. Amino acid is formed from the elements. Which elements? Carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and sometimes sulfur. These elements are arranged in such a way that they are present in two functional groups. The carboxyl group, COOH group, the NH2 group, and there is an R alpha group. R alkyl group is also attached with the carbon. We have a central carbon atom, which is called the alpha carbon atom, and along with this carbon atom, the central carbon atom, you can see that four different groups are attached. R represents the alkyl group, H is the hydrogen atom, NH2 is the amine group, COOH is the carboxyl group, and such type of carbon atom to which four different groups are attached, this type of carbon atom is called alpha carbon atom. And the only difference in different amino acids is due to the presence of R group, which can be variable. It is a variable side chain, and the rest of the components do not change in a protein molecule. 20 different amino acids are present, each with the different R group. What is R group? The side chain alkyl group, which are involved in the synthesis of protein. Out of these 20, 10 are called the essential ones. Amino acids are essential. Why they are essential? All of the 20 are essential, but the essential ones, which are called the essential, they need to be taken with the food. They cannot be prepared within the body, while the rest of the amino acids, which can be prepared in the body and do not need to be taken from the outside, they are called the non-essential. Keep in your minds, both of the types are very much important for the protein synthesis, but the non-essential can be prepared within the body, so they are called non-essential. All amino acids join together by the peptide bond to form a protein polymer by condensation reaction. Condensation reaction means removal of water molecule. You have observed in the carbohydrate that the smaller units, the glucose monosaccharide units, combine together by the condensation process. Over here again, the monomers are combining together to form the polymer by the condensation reaction, means the removal of water molecule. So we can say that the polymers are formed by the condensation of the monomers. There are three types of bonding involved in protein. The first is called the peptide bond, which is the basic of the protein molecule. It forms the backbone of the protein. Backbone means it forms the structure of the protein. Second one is called the hydrogen bond, and disulfide bridges are found in those amino acids which have sulfur in them. There are 5 different types of bonding present. Peptide bond is the basic type. Then we have ionic bond, disulfide bridges, hydrogen bond, and hydrophobic interactions. We will discuss just the 3 in this level: peptide bond, disulfide bridge, and the hydrogen bond. First of all, the peptide bond. The bond which is formed between the carboxyl carbon, means the carbon of the COOH group of one amino acid with the nitrogen of amine group of another amino acid through condensation process. When the condensation occurs between two amino acids, so the resultant will be called a dipeptide molecule. Keep in your mind the dipeptide molecule has the peptide bond, but it cannot perform the higher functions of protein. Protein performs its functions when it is having complex bonding and complex structure. A simple dipeptide molecule or a tripeptide molecule cannot perform that much complex functions of the protein. Look at the dipeptide bond or the dipeptide molecule. You can see the first one, amino acid. Focus on the structure. We have an alpha carbon atom in the center. Along with this alpha carbon, we have hydrogen at the top, and below this carbon we have the alkyl group R. At one side it is having NH2 group, while the other one side is having COOH group. It is written in the open form to make it clear that how the condensation will occur. Then it combined with the second one amino acid having an alkyl group R2, the hydrogen from the amine group, and carboxyl group OH group of the carboxyl carbon. They are eliminated in the form of water molecules. So now the carbon is having an empty bond and the nitrogen is having an empty bond, so they can join together. This type of bond is called the peptide bond, and we will get the water. This is the condensation process. Now, importance of this peptide bond is that peptide bond is a covalent bond which forms the backbone of the protein molecule. Backbone means the major structure. It gives primary structure to the protein molecule. Additional condensation reaction lengthen the chain to produce polypeptide, forming a giant molecule of protein, and this protein can now perform different functions. Second type of the bonding present in protein is called the hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bond is formed, you know this thing very well, that the hydrogen bond is basically the formation of a bond between the hydrogen of one molecule with the most electronegative element like oxygen, nitrogen, and fluorine of another molecule. Over here you have seen that it is having oxygen with the COOH group. Sorry, it is written wrongly. It is the COOH carboxyl group with the hydrogen of NH2 group. Hydrogen bonding gives secondary structure to the protein molecule, and when the secondary structure is formed, it forms a helical structure, like you may have seen the structure of DNA, like this one. We have focused just on the bonding of hydrogen, so I have written just the hydrogen and oxygen part. We have NH group from the NH2 of one amino acid, and the COO group, C double bond O group of the COOH. Hydrogen bond is formed, and when this hydrogen formed, you can see in the second structure that it will form a helical structure. Third one bonding is the disulfide bridge. So disulfide bridge is again it is a covalent bond. It is a covalent bond which is formed between the sulfur containing amino acids. It gives tertiary and quaternary structure. Keep in your mind, have a sketch of this bonding. It is having the peptide bond first. When the hydrogen bond is formed in that peptide, that molecule which contained already the peptide molecule, so it will become twisted. Helical structure will be formed, and when disulfide bridges are formed, so it will become folded and refolded again and again. So majorly it will form a complex structure. Sometimes it is fibrous in nature, sometimes it is globular in nature. Globular means the rounded or the oval shaped structure like the hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin can perform a complex structure of carrying oxygen. So it means that when a protein is having a complex structure, so it can perform more complex structures, functions. Disulfide bridges somewhat like this. Focus on the major carbon. The first one carbon you can see is the carbon or the alpha carbon atom, and over here we have two functional groups, the COOH group and the NH2 group, and at the top it is having hydrogen. The R group over here we have written CH2S. So S is the hydrogen of the CH group, CH3 group is replaced with the sulfur. Sulfur can get its place at the alkyl group. So both of these contain the sulfur atoms, and you can see that they have formed a disulfide bridge. Such type of protein which have the peptide bond, hydrogen bond, and the disulfide bridges will be coiled and recoiled, and it will form a complex structure. Now it can perform important complex functions within the body.